One of the main things you need to look at when investing into a company is the CEO of the company. Is he a genius? Is he a visionary? Does he have a proven track record? And what is he currently doing? Let's take a look at what he just did yet again. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. Neo Capital, this just happened, and Alibaba backed robotics startup in $138 million two-round raise. Neo Capital, you heard that right, the investment fund co-founded by Neo's CEO William Li and the Chinese giant Alibaba Group have led a funding round for embodied intelligence robotics startup Dexmal. Now, William Lee has invested into a lot of companies, and whatever he is invested into, I pay close attention because he sees the prospects, but he also sees like companies that complement Neo, companies that provide logistics, provide parts for our cars. The CEO has also invested into them, which has greatly benefited the company Neo as a whole. The tech giant was the sole investor of the latest A-plus round announced on Friday with several hundred million yuan. Combined, the two rounds brought Dexmal's total funding to nearly 1 billion yuan, which is 138 million US dollars. The Shenzhen-based startup founded last March developed software and hardware for embodied intelligence, robots capable of performing tasks across different scenarios and configurations. But Tesla is working on a robot. For Neo Capital, it marks its latest expansion beyond its traditional electric vehicle supply chain investments into broader artificial intelligence and robotics technology. The fund, founded by William Li, the CEO of Neo, and Ian Zhu nearly a decade ago, invested in several battery manufacturers such as CATL. Now notice the companies that he's investing into. The leader in battery making in the world, CATL, and CALB, the LiDAR maker Xeon, and previously known as InnoVusion, which is, I believe they just listed in Hong Kong, not in the American stock market. And I spoke about why the companies are choosing to list over there instead now. The 80 startup Momenta, the robo-taxi maker Pony AI, and I spoke about them on this channel before, among several others. Neo Capital led Dexmal previous Series A financing, joined by follow-on investments from Hong Tai Fund, Legend Capital, She Venture Capital. Existing shareholders Legend Star made an over-allocation follow-on investments, while Queeming Venture Partners and Jukin Investments also participated. Alibaba then invested as the exclusive backer in the A-plus round according to public filings. Dexmal said proceeds from both rounds will be used primarily for research, development, and commercialization of intelligent robot software and hardware technology. Neo's capital diversification strategy. Since 2016, the fund has raised 5 funds, 3 denominated in US dollars and 2 in yuan. While the portfolio includes traditional electric vehicle suppliers such as battery makers, contemporary Amprex Technology, China Aviation Lithium Battery Company, Neo Capital has increasingly targeted next generation technologies. And this is one of the things that most analysts agree on, is where do you invest to make big money for the future? It's not oil anymore. It's robotics, it's artificial intelligence, it's green energy. The fund holds a stake in, and tech of course, the fund holds a stake in US suspension startup ClearMotion, which supplies Neo flagship ET9 sedan, and has invested in several component suppliers for the L90 SUV launch in July under Neo mass market Onvo sub-brand. Neo Capital has separately moved into the automotive chip sector A filing disclosed earlier this year showed the fund invested in Shinchin Huangtong Technology, a startup that designs automotive chips, positioning Neo Capital in the critical semiconductor supply chain. Very important, as automakers face persistent chip shortages and seek to develop proprietary solutions. Visionary. Late August, Last August, the fund established a new business management consulting partnership in Anhui province alongside local government linked investors, expanding beyond pure investment activities into operational consulting services. Government, keyword there. Embodied intelligence bet. Last month, Dexmal released Dexbotic, an open source software toolkit that allows researchers to develop robots capable of understanding visual and verbal commands and translating them into physical actions. Vision language action models. These models allow robots to respond to concrete commands by visually identifying the object, understanding the instruction, and calculating the precise movement needs to complete the tasks. So this is just some of the companies that Neo has invested into, Neo Capital. And it just goes to show you, and of course, do your own due diligence and research, guys, but it's very important to understand what you're investing into, what you hold, and where the future is going and where you should be investing into for the future. Of course, we all know there's a huge AI bubble in America right now that's keeping the stock market afloat. And most of the stocks on the American stock market is grossly overvalued. And it's just a matter of time for that bubble to burst. So where should you invest your money? Well, you need to do your own due diligence and research, but I know where I am investing in my money. It's going to be into, of course, Neo is my biggest investment, robotics, chips, and green energy and tech. This is the future of the world. Just like back in the day when you invested into oil, people who invested into oil or the internet revolution when it first started, Bitcoin, etc., etc. Now the future is what I just talked about. I hope you guys found this video yet again to be informational, inspirational, and motivational. If so, guys, boop, 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 don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It takes a lot of time to do these videos and the editing. And if you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because on this channel, we are waking up the middle class for the first time to get a major piece of the pie from the ground level up as to how the games are played on Wall Street. And like 50 said, we get rich or we die trying, guys.